When working with large files or large collections of files, a data store is a great option for accessing your data in increments. If you're working with file types that aren't supported by default data stores, such as custom file types or map files, or if you just need some extra customization, a file data store can provide a flexible solution for handling your data. In this video, you'll learn how to configure file data stores to work with a variety of data types. If you are new to data stores, check out our How to Use Data Stores video to learn the basics of what they are and how they work. Now let's get started. A file data store requires at least two pieces of information: the location of the data and how you want the data to be read, specified as a function. There are two different ways to specify the location of your data. Let's say you have a Parquet file stored in your current directory. You can use the path of this file, which in this case would just be the file name. Alternatively, you can create a file set object using this function, which will create the data store faster, especially for large data sets. You determine how the data is read from the files by providing a read function as a name-value pair. First, put read FCN in quotes, then as the next argument, provide a function handle using the @ immediately followed by the name of the function. This can be a function you have written or a MATLAB function. This example uses the MATLAB function parquetRead. To access your data, use the read function on the file data store, which will apply the read function you specified to the data source you specified. In this example, the data store uses the parquetRead function to import the data from the airline small file. File data stores also work with collections of files. This path points to a folder containing a variety of file types, but let's say I'm only interested in using the mat files stored here. I can use the file extensions argument to tell the function to only look at files ending with the .mat extension. Other optional arguments can be used to customize your data store even further, and these can be found in the documentation linked in the description. In this case, the read function is the load function, so when you read from the data store, it will load one mat file from the folder at a time. Each time you read from the data store, it will load a new mat file until you have read every file in the folder. To import all of the data at once, use the read all function. Now, there may be cases where you want to write your own read function to import the data in a specific way. For example, say you have one large mat file that contains several arrays, and you want to read one array at a time instead of loading the whole file. First, write your custom read function, such as the load variable function shown here, and save it in your current directory or in a folder that is on the MATLAB path. Then, set this as your read function when creating the data store, and set the read mode to partial file so that you can read parts of the file instead of the whole file. Now, if you read from the file data store, you will see that it imports single arrays at a time instead of the whole mat file. Now, you're ready to start using file data stores with your own datasets. Thank you for watching.